are live. Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports? We hope that you guys are making it a good one. We know that we are as well. Yes, it's not 7 o'clock. I get it. I understand it. But I ain't going up against Brian Kelly and Thursday Night Football. We are not going up against the Chiefs and the Chargers tonight at 7:15. We ain't going to do it. So we're going to go ahead and go at 6. And look, talk some LSU. It's going to be fun. We will get to some keys to victory. What are my 3 big keys of what LSU has to do? The big 3. Guys, it's simpler said than done. However, it's what they're going to have to do against this team to win. And I think it bodes well for LSU to be able to do these 3 things. The more and more I do watch their film, I think that this is going to be a close game, and whoever gets off the field the most on third downs is going to win it. Bottom line. So we'll break all that down. We'll talk about all that. DBU versus the air raid, that will be a part of this 3-point breakdown. You got to be disciplined on the back end. We'll talk about that as well. We'll spend a lot of time in the keys to victory, and I'll give my score prediction of what I'm thinking the score is going to be, so you can fire in your score predictions right now. What do you think the final score is going to be? We do this every Thursday, so do it. Put it in there. What do you think? And we'll bring up as many of them as we can. All right. I am excited about this one. You guys know that I don't brag a whole lot on my guests, but I'm going to brag on this one. A former, not only teammate of mine, but a friend, a guy that I grew up with from Franklinton High School in Franklinton, Louisiana, Brandon Taylor, former number 18, who played at LSU, who will be a team captain, will be joining us at 6:30 to talk some LSU. Always a great time to talk to Brandon. I think Brandon was in my mom's elementary school. My mom was his elementary school teacher, or 4th grade teacher, if I'm not mistaken. We go back a long ways, man. Long ways. So really looking forward to my buddy Brandon joining us. And as we do every Tuesdays and Thursdays, hashtag Ask Blake. So if you have a question, thought, concern, all of that, fire it inside the Rudy Crew chat, and we'll get to as many of them as we can. Dane Bergeron, let's start this off before we get started. Says, hi, Blake. 34-31 LSU. Okay. Jason Brumfield says discipline, defense, and Jaden Daniels. Guys, I still don't get it. I'm not going there again. We talked about that at length last night. I'm not getting back into this Jaden Daniels slander. Guys, he's got a lot that he's got to prove. I understand it. Blake, you just played Southern. At what point does someone have a perfect NFL passer rating? Guys, he had a perfect passer rating last Saturday. When you play an inferior opponent and you go damn near perfect and you're critiquing it, do you understand how stupid that is? I mean, not critiquing it, criticizing it. Excuse me. Bad choice of words. There are some things he can critique. Hey, get the ball back out in the flat quicker. Like, fine. Small little things, cool. Critique, because you got to get 1% better every day. I understand it, but Jesus, Lord, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, God bless it, y'all. God bless it. I mean, get over it. Fuck. Richard on Facebook says North LA Benton headed to NOLA to play Arch Manning tonight. All right, Richard. DM me the score at the end of it. Good luck to you guys. Jason says, let's get it. Jason, do you have a App State photo as your profile pic? Is that what I'm seeing here? Is that what I'm seeing? I mean, I do like it. Simper says, God bless these Tigers 38-17. I like that, Simper. I dig it. Edward O, 37-34. I think it's going to be a close game, guys. I think it can come down to 3. Look, every so often, Mississippi State pulls out one of these teams, man. They're disciplined. They have a lot of seniors and juniors. Guys, they can play. This isn't, and it's not. I hate when people come in here. Oh, Mississippi State's Dookie water, guys. You talk about the team right now. I don't care what the history is showing me about Miss State. What team's on the field now? What team's on the field now? Jordan says Jane Daniels will be a good QB, already better than Johnson, in my opinion, maybe. And look, I said this last night on I said this last night, and I kind of sourced it a little bit, but I'll say this. There's a very strong rumor. I don't know if Max is going to start, but that they're going to get him in there. And obviously, yeah. We'll talk about that Saturday morning. Edo says, I'm on the nuss bus, but Jane deserves to start, and I hope he goes the F off. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. That's cool. And Dane Bergeron says, LSU has to tackle better. I can't say to hear B-Wise take on this. B-Wise? You mean mine? Or BT's take on this? Talking about Brandon Taylor? Yeah, we'll ask Brandon. Dane, I'm going to start. I'll bring this question back up. We'll ask Brandon Taylor about that, how difficult it is playing a team like this. I mean, especially from the DB perspective. And look, we're going to talk about DBU versus the air raid, and there's nobody literally better. We'll ask him about, going up against that West Virginia team. They ran the air raid. Who was there? I can't remember who the head coach was for that West Virginia team. It wasn't Holgorsen, was it? No, I don't think it was Holgorsen, but they ran the let me look it up right quick. Guys, can y'all look this up for me if y'all can? The team in the back. Okay. I'm just looking it up because that's going to drive me. Oh, it's Rich Rod. No. Was it in 2007? Why did they throw the football all over the place? Did Rich Rod throw the ball all over the place? I remember Gino just going off, like throwing the ball all the time. I don't remember Rich Rod being the guy there in 2007. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, Paul Sharp says it was Rich Rod. Okay. Yes, indeed. Rich Rod. Flaming Dragon. Oh, Rich Rod. Isn't Rich Rod like at Jacksonville State or something like that? Hey, they look, man, they look good offensively. I saw Jacksonville State. I forget who they played, but they looked good offensively. All right, last one, and then we'll get this thing rolling. Keith Piku says LSU wins big. Keep the momentum and confidence going. God, I hope so. I'll bring this one up. I lied. Mark Kemp. So Deshaun Womack did commit on our show on AYS, and I've been sharing this a lot on Twitter if you haven't seen it. Deshaun Womack and them do play on ESPN2 starting at 7. I will be tuning into that game as well. I'll be watching the NFL and on my on our laptops and stuff in the office, which, by the way, a lot of things are almost done in here, so we could be having a whole new setup very soon. We're almost done. But I'll be watching Deshaun a lot, and he's a good young man, great mom, great family. It's going to be fun to see him be a Tiger. Okay, let's get this thing rolling, y'all. Everybody do us a favor. You know what time it is. Everybody do us a favor. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Hit the like and share. Share to all of those social media groups. Right now, stop. I see all of you on Facebook. I see all of you on YouTube. Stop. Hit the like and share. Share to all those groups. Share to your own social media pages. I might even give out a shirt away if you share the show. If you share the post tonight, I will give you a shirt, an AYS shirt. Share the post. Share the post or share the show. Do it. If you're listening to us on XM Radio, you're listening to us on the audio podcast platform, or you're listening to us anywhere you listen to podcasts, rate, review, subscribe, all of that great stuff. We greatly appreciate you doing that. Okay, let's do this. Let's pay these bills. We return in 1 minute and 20 seconds. Let's talk about our good friends over at betonline.ag and our good friends over at GM Varno & Sons, gmvarnosons.com. We return very, very soon. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way for you to wager on all of your favorite sports, contests, events with the first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews for all the news for each league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, college sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports information for live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head on over to BetOnline today and use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50, to receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, betonline.ag. With over 65 years of experience, nobody is better equipped to service in your vehicle than GM Varno & Sons. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. If you break down the side of the road in the greater Baton Rouge area, they will come and get you. And the best thing about that is that they can come and get you, and then they can bring your vehicle back to their shop and start the repairs right then. Again, GM Varno & Sons. Go see them over at 2500 Fuller Boulevard. Give them a call at 225-664-9992. 225-664-9992. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino sent you on by. Edwardo, hold on. Can y'all hear me? There we go. Edwardo says, Blake, are we still partners? I didn't know we was partners. I don't hate on people. Guys, if I read one of your comments and I go off, don't take it personally. This is how I am. This is how we debate. It's how I talk. Don't take it personally. I don't even remember what we were arguing about. Now, I will say this. Look, there's a couple things you can't come in here and talk about. Politics, religion, and you can't talk about my son. Talk about me and my wife all you want to, and you better be careful on what you say on about my wife. But let me just say this again, and I had to do it earlier this week. If you say something about my son that is really just kind of out of line, bro, F you. I'll slap the shit out of you. Don't do it. I mean, like, what goes through you guys' heads that say stupid shit like that? Mikey says, when will we see Seven Banks? I think that's a really good question. Look, Brian Kelly mentioned this earlier this week, and he talked about how LSU is going to have all hands on deck, and we're going to talk about that, probably about 10 minutes. Guys, LSU is going to have everything available in their toolbox. Every player, every scheme, everything they have. Because the truth is, and, look, and I could add this to the 4 keys of victory. We have 3, but even the 4 keys of victory. Okay, look, I talked about this on Monday. There are program changers and there are program turners. Program changers is what Saban did in 2000. What Skip Bertman did when he came to LSU. He changed the culture. They changed the program, right? Like, that's a program changer. LSU has been off course a little bit over the last 2 seasons. This game and this win, or potential win over Mississippi State, would course correct what LSU's been known for. I saw a post today. It's like LSU's like John. If the SEC were Game of Thrones, and each team was a character, LSU's like Jon Snow. All the potential in the world, and is going to win most of his battles. But sometimes you got to come out and overtake what's yours. You got to take what's yours. Oh, that's my throne? Gotcha. Get off that thing. That's mine. You got to get back. And look, you can call me crazy all you want to. For me, you go 2-1, you play another inferior opponent in a couple of or next week, a game that you're more than likely going to win. Then you start getting into more of the SEC play, Tennessee, Auburn, et cetera, et cetera. Guys, you start rattling off these wins. You know, and look, let me hit this. Sources, Brian Kelly is pushing this team and telling this team if they work hard, they play hard, they stay disciplined, he thinks that they can win the SEC. Guys, they're buying into that. You can, look, the realistic take is they probably won't. Okay? They probably won't. You can't tell your team that. Somebody's going to have to tell Brian Kelly that he's not going to do something. And by the way, you're not going to. Guys, quite honestly, the West is a little open. You start off Saturday with that. All right, keys to victory. Look, I don't know how much LSU is going to get John Emery involved. And guys, don't take this the wrong way. I don't really care how much they get him involved. Meaning, I just want an effective running game. This feels to me one of these games. You just got to do whatever you have to do to win the football game. Don't worry about how it looks. Don't worry about all the other stuff, because I'm going to tell you, if you believe that this Mississippi State team is Rudy Poo, guys, I'm going to sit here and tell you they're not. I don't care. You know, was it 9-10 years ago this week, Mississippi State played Auburn and Auburn beat Miss State 3-2. Guys, if it's 3-2, so be it. Live with the consequences at a later date. It's not going to be 3-2. LSU's going to score a lot of points. And so is Mississippi State. Nevertheless, you got to do what you have to do to win. Number 2. Look, and let me say this before we get to 2. Run the football. Find a way, whatever you have to do, find a way to make sure that you're able to establish some type of running game. Now, what's interesting, and I had lunch with an AYS listener today, and we were going back and forth. Something that I think is also interesting, especially when it comes to the running game and even blitz protections and blitz pickups. Guys, Jayden's defense and most of his defenses at Arizona State ran a 3-3-5. He faced the 3-3-5 multiple times as a quarterback. That's going to bode well for you. That's going to bode well for him and for us. Guys, if you go all of spring, if you go all of fall camp, and your base defense, your team's defense. Now, doesn't mean Arizona State had the type of athletes that Mississippi State does. They don't. But you have somewhat of a concept of what's going to come your way. What's interesting is Brandon Taylor's going to join us in 8 minutes. We ran a 3-3-5 in high school, believe it or not. Guys, you have to be able to establish the running game. It is and can be a very favorable matchup. Now, they send exotic blitzes, they send exotic safety blitzes. They'll send certain twists. They'll bring linebackers down. They're going to send 4 guys damn near every play. The thing that can work the most against this team, when you run a 3-3-5, let Jayden do some zone reads. Let him be able to pull it and run. Because, again, when you have a left tackle and you're reading the defensive end, and Will Campbell can get to the second level very quickly, and there's not a lot of traffic there that he can get to the second level, it bodes well for you. There's not a lot of traffic in there. Now, the key with this is you better not do that against Tyrus Wheat from Amite, Louisiana. The kid's probably going to be an all-SEC performer if he continues to do what he's doing. So, We'll see. Shout out to Tim Graves. He says it's up. What's up, buddy? How's your, Tim had a baby not too long ago. Went to high school with him as well. What's up, brother? Stan Polkey says, Blake! What's up, Stan? What's crack-a-lacking? But it's more favorable for you to be able to run those zone reads. Mac Daddy, yes, John Emery is back this week. Number 2, guys, I preached this Monday. I preached it earlier before we started the show. I'll say it again. Defensively, this is the game that you have to be the most disciplined. I said this a season ago in episode 318. I went all the way back and found it. In episode 318, I said, and I quote, the air raid is just a glorified triple option through the air. Brian Kelly said that again this week. I agree with him wholeheartedly. What they do is based off of what you do, and that's how they do things. They're going to run probably 8 to 10 different plays. That's it. Now, they might do some things to open up the game that LSU hasn't seen and maybe come back to it later. Screen passes, dives, whatever, quick slants. They're not going to be completely exotic. What they will do is they will do it out of different formations. They will do those things out of different formations. Look, and I talked about this a minute ago. We'll ask Brandon this when he joins us. What was it like going to West Virginia? I mean, I wonder if they got off the plane and heard the banjos. You know that shit country as hell too, boy. But for real, you got to stay disciplined on the back end. Sevyn Banks coming from Ohio State, coming back this week. Is that going to bode well for them? All hands on deck. All hands on deck. Number 3, and look, I get the Jayden Daniels slander. I'm going to say this, and we're not going to stay long on it. We'll get your comments. Brandon Taylor joining us in 5 minutes. The guys are telling me he's in the house, so we'll go to him quickly. Stop with the slander on him. It's a big game for him. I understand it. But, guys, he fucking went perfect last week. A perfect NFL rating last week. Find ways to get Kayshawn the ball. The reverse, whatever you got to do to get him the ball early. But I will tell you, of the teams that Mike Leach has had, there are people that have covered him. So I talked to a beat writer and a guy that played at Washington State earlier this week, and he was telling me that, look, I've been covering Mike Leach for a long time. This is the best defense he's ever had. Obviously, guys, he's in the SEC. The question will be is, and we've seen Mike start to do this, they're starting to run the ball a lot more. The big thing here is you have to convert on third down. You have to get off the field on third down. Your defense cannot be 11 of 15 on third down, and you think that Mike Leach is going to take his foot off the gas. Conversely, and on the opposite side, you have to put your pedal to the metal, and you have to put your foot on their throats and get first downs and sustain drives. That's it. All right, a couple of these comments, and then we'll get to Brandon Taylor. I got to be, like I said, I'm being cool. Former teammate, man. Former Franklinton alumni in the building. Look at my mom. Guys, why y'all got to put my mom's comment up here? So happy to see Brandon. She probably don't even want to see my fat butt up in here. All right. Dane says LSU has to tackle better. Can you get BT's comments? Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll get to him. And we'll do that. All right, let's do this. Let's get to a very quick break. We'll get to Brandon. Let's talk about our good friends over at Gramco, thegramco.com. Guys, use that promo code AYS25 at checkout. It's right here, man. It's right here. Go do it. Hypertension, there's a lot of things that it will help you do. You can read up on. Use that promo code AYS25. Guys, we return in 1 minute with former LSU great, number 18, Brandon Taylor. Guys, I've got to talk to you about our good friends over at Gramco. They are the Delta 8 company based out of the state of Florida. They're founded by college football junkies just like you and I am not sure if you're familiar with Delta 8, but you need to be. Gramco is the absolute leader in this field, and they have phenomenal products that I just need to tell you about. First off is the Wake and Bake coffee that is absolutely spectacular. The gummies are as well, as they're the best in the market. So go to thegramco.com right now and use the promo code AYS25. That's thegramco.com, AYS25 promo code to get 25% off of your order. Jump on this fast as it is perfect for holidays, anniversaries, and everyday use. Gramco is hemp-derived and completely legal inside of the state of Louisiana. No medical card is needed, and shipping is very discreet. You must be 21 years older to order. Again, that's thegramco.com. Use that promo code AYS25. All right, we are joined here, my buddy, my man, friend, Franklinton alumni, my guy, BT. What's happening, brother?
What's going on, Big Blake?
Nice.
Hey, you're not telling them the whole story. You're not telling them our upbringing.
All right. Well, you can tell.
People don't understand. Me and Blake been playing football and baseball together since the age of 5. His mother taught me in school. Like Blake, and my brother Jaren, we were damn near inseparable. Like from age of 5 all the way through high school, it was like it's different between. I know Blake's dad, I know his brother. Speaking of, that's why I like the Southern Band was like people don't know Blake's brother played in the movie Drumline.
He did.
Blake, you all the facts, man. You can't have me on here on your show giving all the people the facts that you ain't giving, man.
Hey, it's in my notes. It's literally in my notes right here. I was gonna start off by saying, Brandon, if you were late, get your ass to the pile.
Yeah, like everybody understand, like so Blake know where my aggression and my style of playing football and my passion in football, where it comes from. Because Blake was coached by my dad from the age of 5 all the way to high school.
And even in high school.
Basically in high school. He didn't stop coaching us. Like,
hell no.
So he knows firsthand where that comes from. He know the man that raised me and the basically the nutcase he was when he got pissed off. So he knows firsthand where it comes from.
Hey, I was thinking about this too when I texted you today. I'll never forget I missed a block against Angie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just started running. I knew, like, hey, man, I might as well just get this shit out the way now. You know, but you're right, man. And look, Brandon, and I don't mean to get sentimental on this one, but I think that's what built us to build this business. You to have the success that you did, right?
Yes,
I mean, starting that young and being there. But I will say this, you talked about baseball. You remember when you broke that aluminum bat in 13 and 14?
That's why I tell people this all the time, and it's just hard for them to believe. I was a better baseball player than I was at football. And my brother Jaren was probably the best baseball player I ever seen coming up. And I was damn good playing baseball coming up. People don't realize I was snapping aluminum bats when I was 12 years old.
I know. Look, I tell people that
aluminum bats.
Brandon, I tell people that story all the time. They don't believe me. So now we have proof. I'm going to clip this shit. You better believe.
I don't understand. And I got all the balls from my first home run at the age of 6 all the way through. I played my 9th grade year in high school. I probably hit, in Little League alone, I hit well over 125 home runs.
I completely agree with that. This is when I knew baseball would never be my thing. When Dustin Williams, our former high school quarterback, threw my fat ass out at first from center field after hitting a single. Hey, man,
hey, but you understand the childhood we had growing up, dude. Kids nowadays, they will never experience that.
No, they
won't.
Like
the childhood we had growing up, and I feel sorry for them. Even my daughter, she'll never get to experience what we experienced as kids because it's different. You got all this travel ball. Everything is about money now. It's not about the sport and bringing kids up the right way and molding them into being great people. Like, they're not molding kids into being great people. They molding them to be a dollar sign. That's basically what it is.
Well, and Brandon, I agree. And look, we played everything. You know, like
everything.
That's where the athleticism came from. It wasn't just
exactly. It was no break. There wasn't no family vacation. Our family vacations was travel all summer baseball.
Gonzalez.
That was the only time we went somewhere. We went to Lake Placid. Lake Charles. We thought we was in New York. We seen a bridge. Like, I'm serious.
I know.
I'm dead serious. Like, people don't understand that. Like, we didn't see that much. All we seen was fields, cows, and athletic stuff. And we was a family. We raised a family. Like, people understand. Like, where we grew up, other people's parents could whoop other people's kids, and then you would get a whooping by your parents.
No doubt. Hey,
it was a village.
It was. That's what I was about to say. It was a village. Everybody, and look, that's what made a lot of us in that class successful. And I want to talk about you, though, because look, obviously there was some big news today, and a lot of people, if they haven't heard it, but I'm sure that they have, you're going to be a team captain this week, a former number 18. And Brandon, even to the point where even during the fair, people were wearing the 18 jerseys, right? Like everybody's supported there. But let me ask you this, Brandon, getting to the LSU side of things. What does it mean to you to go back and be the team captain? Look, in that 11 team's probably the second best team in LSU history, right? I mean, it is.
Oh, yeah.
What does it mean to you, though, to be able to go back and represent not a team captain, the 18 of that team?
Is the more special thing is that I'm the first 18 on defense to ever wear, the first defensive player to ever wear 18. And it just goes back to being a selfless person. Like, I didn't play football for the enjoyment of myself. Like, I did it for all my high school teammates, all my little league teammates that didn't get the opportunity to come. Like, Blake will tell you, like, every weekend during middle school, from 7th grade when my brother was getting recruited to LSU and Nick Saban was there, all the way through high school, I was bringing different teammates to the games because I had never been to Tiger Stadium. They had never been to Tiger Stadium. Like, I did everything I did. I was playing for other people. And I think that's why I was successful. And that's what separated me from a different group. Like, just being a selfless person and being humble and having morals. Like, you carry that all on the field, you have no choice but to be successful.
I do want to say thank you publicly. You know, we reach about 25,000 people a show. Thank you to Brandon Taylor for bringing me to LSU Florida 2007.
I'm telling you, people understand that. Like, it was like those were big games, like
massive,
that cemented into LSU history. Like, if I wouldn't get recruited, we probably never would have been there. We probably been watching it at Coach G house, Coach Gilner house. Him over there drinking Wild Turkey, playing Call of Duty, arguing with Miss Gilder. And Coach Brumfield bringing the big Bulldogs over there. Like,
what's going on back here? I mean,
they don't understand that. If we wasn't at the games together, we watched it as friends together back at home.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday, we was all together.
I'll never forget the 2 times. I'm not going to talk about, the recruiting stuff. I don't want to get, anybody in trouble, just things you hear and you see. But I'll never forget the day that Les Miles came on the official visit to your house, and John called me, and I'm sitting there. I ain't gonna lie, Brandon, I was panicked.
And the thing is, people gotta understand, Blake was okay. We had the opportunity to go to LSU and play, and we was getting recruited, but Blake was the fan. Blake was from age 5 all the way up. Blake was the true LSU fan. Like, he was our friend. Oh, LSU. I'm like, Blake, shut the hell up, man. I like Miami. Like, I grew up making Miami, Florida. Like, that's how we all grew up. Like, that's what it was. But when we knew Coach Miles was coming on that visit, the first person we thought about, my mom said it. She said, Brandon, call Blake and let him know.
Hey,
Blake, she said, Blake, you don't need to be to this house. We called Blake, we called a bunch of our other friends, and we invited them all over. And that's what it's about, man, because you got to understand, everybody that's around you, they mold you up into who you are. And if you don't let them experience and be a part of that, what does that say about you as a person? And you really not that good of a player without the people around you. So for Les Miles to come to my house during the official visit and me not bring my friends over there, enjoy the experience and get pictures with him, like, you'll be a crappy person. Like you couldn't look your friends in the face after that. Like, so we had to get those guys over there and get Blake over there to enjoy the experience.
I'll never forget he got out the car with his hat like this.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm like, man, this man here. I know what I'm getting myself into with this guy.
Well, look, we'll get to. I do got something for you though, Brandon. Look at this. So we're out of the office. The office is being constructed since the hurricane. But I got something for you. The old Pee Wee football helmet.
That thing is turning yellow. It got a yellow tint on it.
It is turning yellow. It got and
people wonder why we bat shit crazy. Look at that. That thing ain't protecting nothing.
Hey, it's been in my office, and Brandon, right here, I had to show you, but right here, I got the football. I got everybody to sign in our senior year. Everybody's in there. So, Brandon, you're going to be here, and I want to talk about LSU in this game. Look, you've been able to see them kind of firsthand, and look, they're going up against an air raid team. Look, there's nobody better that I trust more than to ask you about this. How difficult is it to stop what LSU is going to see Saturday?
It's very difficult because you have to play every element of the game to perfection. I'm talking about from pre-snap reads to communicating before the snap, during the snap, knowing your assignments and knowing what routes are coming, route combinations. Like, this is a film study game. You win this game mentally more than you do physically. And then you got to win on the back end tackling in space, because the route combinations that Leach runs, he's going to create space and he's going to get guys in open spaces, and you got to tackle them in open field. And if you're not a good open field tackle, you will get exposed.
Now, Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong here, because I don't remember very vividly, but that 2011 game that y'all played against West Virginia, they were running a lot of air raid type of principles, were they not? So
yes, they schemed us up that game. I think they knew that we was going to run a heavy cover two. We ran 2-man a lot, which the middle linebacker, he would drop into the middle of the field. But we had linebackers covering Tavon Austin. They would move Tavon Austin to the slot. And people don't understand, they threw this many yards. 2 of his plays were like 40 and 50-yard plays against the linebacker in the slot.
Right.
Everything else was contestant, and it wasn't really that much of big plays, but that was a good coach game by them, being that we did drop 4 or 5 interceptions. We caught like 5, I think, that game. We caught 5 interceptions, but we gave up a bunch of passing yards, and we dropped 4 interceptions due to the fog coming off the mountains in the second half.
Yeah, what was it? The epic Mo Claiborne interception?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, bro. Now let me ask you this. Now, I know what you're going to say, but I got to ask it. 2011 DB room, 2019 LSU wide receiver room. Who wins?
To be truly honest, I think that we win because of the depth that we had. You got to think, my backup got drafted. Every corner that we had, every state room,
y'all's entire DB room got drafted.
Ron Brooks was not a starter and got drafted 4th round. I'm just saying, like, we had tons of depth. So if you're running a quick game and one of us tire out, I'm coming out. Craig Lawson's coming in. If Eric Reed comes out, you got Ronald Martin. You got, bro. It was just it was crazy.
Daryl Simon was
the talent we had, and then we had three defensive ends that outran our safeties. you gotta understand, like, this is the magnitude of it. Like, bro, we was like tip top, well conditioned. It was crazy.
So
it's not just the athleticism. It was our attention to detail and studying. We loved the game. We didn't blow assignments. If you caught a ball on us, you damn well deserved it because we was right there with you.
So that's literally my next question, Brandon. When y'all came off that sideline, I think it was the Florida game, when Tyron had the pick in the end zone and you were about to intercept it, but he took it from you. What'd you say to him on the sideline? Like, dog, come on, bro. Like,
well, the thing is, when I turned my hips and I seen the quarterback looking that way, and I turned my hips and I seen who was over there covering the person, I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. Like, I ain't catching this pick. It was to the point where, bro, you gotta understand, like, we used to fight over tackles and it was personal. Like we competed against each other. Like it was to a point where it was like, bro, if I whiff on this tackle, if I miss this tackle, I may not get this opportunity again because of the other guys that you had on the field. Like my strength was tackling, making tackles. If I didn't average 10 or 8 a game, like that was a bad game for me because I knew the ball hawks I had around me.
Mm-hmm.
So my key was communication, getting people in the right place, and fitting my gaps and making good tackles and playing solid coverage.
What do you? I'm going to ask you this, and I want to get you one more question about the game. What do you want everybody? I mean, we all, because there's a bad perception about the 11 team. Obviously, you've talked about this about the last game, but Brandon, over 4 million people voted, and over the last since 1980, so relatively, the number one game that everybody voted for the best game of all time in college football was 9-6 Alabama. When you or 9-6 LSU. When you think about that and being a part of that and having the epic tackle in the backfield, I remember you grabbing the old boy's foot. Remember, and he trips up and he's falling down. When you hear that and you think about that 11 team, like what goes through your mind when you see stuff like that on Twitter?
Blake, that it lets you know the magnitude of it. Like while you in the process of it, like we knew it was a big game, we knew it was a personal game, but I think that game there started this rivalry between LSU and Alabama.
No doubt.
And you can never, that's something that can never be taken away because you got to understand, bro, 9-6, you would never see another football game displayed like that. And people don't understand this, like that next week, we didn't go to class that week. You could not physically walk. You couldn't move my neck, all that. We was on the plane ride back home, like, bro, we were mentally and physically drained. Like it was to the point where it was like, I don't ever want to go through that again. Like that was the hardest football game I ever played in my entire life. I'm talking about NFL and all.
Damn. That Brandon, that's insane. Like when you think about it, that's insane. Brandon Taylor's our guest. You can follow him on Twitter, Brandon18 Taylor. Brandon, a couple more and I'll get you at it. Thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate it.
Oh, yes, indeed, big dog.
So what do you think about this game on Saturday, score-wise? Do you think LSU can pull it out?
Oh, yes, indeed. I think LSU can pull this out. The thing we have to do more is create turnovers. We got to be in the plus and turnovers. LSU team is not good unless LSU is getting turnovers. No football team is good unless you're getting turnovers. Like you have to give your offense more chances to score. People can say what they want. This. Look, defense. At the end of the day, defense is still the biggest key on the team to me personally. Like if a person don't score, they don't win.
Exactly.
That's what people argue with me. I turned blue about the 2011 national championship game. Brandon, y'all did y'all part. No, we didn't. They fucking scored. That the way you live your life and the way I live my life and the way I carry myself and the way you carry yourself are two completely different things. Because I don't want to get fucking scored on. I don't do moral victories and I don't do pats on the ass or none of that. Like if we got scored on, we fucking lost. We knew that going into the game. Whoever didn't give up the most touchdowns or the most points, well, it was field goals. Whoever didn't give up the most field goals was going to win that game. And we understood that. We signed up for that. And we just didn't get it done. And I can live with that, even though I still haven't watched the game to this day. But
so you haven't gone ever back?
I've never watched a snap from that game to this day. I've still never watched it.
I don't blame you. neither have I.
You gotta understand. After that game, I was on a plane to Miami, Florida, at 4 o'clock that next morning.
To get ready for the combine?
To get ready. I didn't want to see nobody. I just got on the call, got my agent, signed the contract with my agent. Hey, get me to Miami now. I want to go train. I didn't miss a beat. Like, that's how I am in life. Like, I don't want to sorrow and weep over nothing. Like, look, let's keep it rolling. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. Now move the hell on.
Brandon, and it goes back to what we started this segment off of. I mean, that comes from your dad, man. I mean, that comes from,
yes, indeed.
Like, you look.
A tear crying. What that shit? You can cry if you want to. Ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you over here. You better get the hell on with that. Start crying and watch. Start crying and watch how big you see my back is. Cause I'm gonna walk the hell away. I ain't. We ain't feeling that. None of that shit.
Hey, now when Big Kurt hit you with the double eye,
when them eyes get big, shit, you better tighten up.
No, Brandon. Let me ask you this. We'll get you out of here, brother. Jayden Daniels, man. Look, I've been high on him from the beginning. He's kind of coming here and just done a lot of good things. In your opinion, when a guy's that fast and throws that well, what do you even remotely do to stop him?
Bro, as a defensive back, that's your worst fear. Like playing against a dual threat quarterback and a quarterback that can outrun you as a DB. Like I played against Tebow, played against Cam Newton. Cam Newton, he could sneak and get away from you and outrun you. But Jayden Daniels can just flat out if he gets even with you, he gone. Like he could just flat out outrun you. And that's like they give you chills as a defensive back because you can't truly focus on your coverage and your man, especially if you're in man coverage. If you're in man coverage the entire game, he gonna beat your ass because that's what he wants. If he sees zone, he'll sit there in the pocket. He need to learn that to read pre-snap reads from zone to man coverage. Once he learns that and gets that down pack, oh my God, this boy is gonna be dangerous because then he will know when, okay, I can really try to pull it and run it or sit here in the pocket in zone coverage. Versus man coverage in zone, I gotta sit here in the pocket and step up and take a lick and get the ball out and time and hit my pockets. And man coverage, okay, I can scramble around a little bit or move in the pocket a little bit, create a little bit more time. And if I need to run, I can haul ass. But once he learns that and get that pre-snap read, I just think you got to think this man is still shell shocked. He was getting his ass popped every damn play. People don't understand. You get semi-PTSD getting hit all the damn time. So he still has to get that out of his system. And then he's in the SEC where you got defensive ends and linebackers that can outrun DBs and running backs and safeties. So he gets that understood. And once the game starts to slow down to him, I think you see a completely different player, which he is playing good. And for all these damn fans, a win is a damn win. If you get a W on the board, you get a W on the board. Like, come on, like let's move forward. You're nitpicking with stuff like a win. Like if I'm racing somebody and you trip and fall and I win the race, damn it, I won the race. I don't care what went on with you. I'm worried about me. I'm not worried about nobody else or nothing else. I got to make my corrections on what I made mistakes on and improve on what we can improve on.
Brandon, if him and Kayshawn hook up this week, they're not going to get stopped. Like if they would have connected on that fade route in the back of the end zone or the slant that was missed, they're not going to get stopped. He's got to have more faith in him, and I agree with you there. Brandon, my brother, thank you so much, man. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, yeah, Blake. We got to do this more often, big dog.
We will. Oh, well, look, we got to play. We, got producers in this bitch now, I didn't know what I was doing the first 500 episodes of this thing. You know what I mean? What's sad is I hadn't had y'all over here to come and do it, but we'll do that. We're going to do that.
Oh, yes, indeed, Blake. We locked in. We solid. We gonna get it done. And Blake first name was Cankles, everybody. It was Cankles.
Hey.
It was Cankles. Blake didn't have no ankles growing up. He probably got them now. He lost a little bit of weight.
Hell no, them things ain't Cankles no more. I ran my ass. You best believe that. Sean Roberts, you're an asshole for calling me that. All right, we'll see you later, brother.
All right, Blake, be good, big dog.
All right, you too, man. That's Brandon Taylor joining us. Always fantastic, man. Look, that was probably one of the best segments we've ever had, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. Stephen Young says, best show I've seen. I hope BK gets Brandon Taylor to speak to the defense. Maybe we can get that to happen. Jerry Zimmerman says, Big Blake always gets good guests. Yeah, man. I mean, Brandon's fantastic, brother. Fantastic. And look, that's pure, man. That's friendship. That's pure. That's absolutely pure. Brandon Reese says, I want to see both sides of the ball play like they did last week. Well, we'll see. My mom's sending the heart emojis. Me and Brandon and Pease probably owe that woman so much money from stealing the quarters out of her purse and going to Sonic. Bro, so quick story. I should have told Brandon that we should have talked about me and Brandon when we were seniors used to go with my mom's purse and steal her money to go to Sonic. I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. Pam, Charlie, everybody saying great segment, a great show. Thank you so much. Doug Knows says badass interview. Damn, man, come on, man. Brandon's fantastic. All right, guys, we do got to get to our final break. Everybody listening to us, XM Radio, tune in, YouTube, all that good stuff. We greatly appreciate it. Let's talk about our good friend Carol Falls over at State Farm. Guys, we return in 1 minute to close it out. Guys, you might know my good friend Carol Falls and all the great service that he provides over at State Farm. He is your good neighbor after all. But did you know State Farm has surprisingly great rates as well? Along with the great neighbor service, State Farm agent Carol Falls has surprisingly great rates for everyone inside the state of Louisiana. So call him today at 985-395-4300, 985-395-4300 for all of those surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to the State Farm underwriting requirements. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. Look, to end this out, and look, we'll be back Saturday morning to do the SEC show, the Saturday morning show. But bottom line is this, guys, and if there's anything that we can say or should say and want to say about this game is you just got to come out and look, I can say this all the live long day, but I think Brandon broke it down the best, right? At some point, you got to give a shit. Like the competitive nature in your DB room. Like we want everybody else to succeed, but we want to beat you. It's a healthy competition, guys. There's nothing wrong with healthy competition. I think this team's going to get there under BK. I really do. Look, and even to the point where you see like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson chirping on Twitter, but you know that they love one another. Like, no, I'm a better receiver. No, I'm a better receiver. And they're constantly chirping. That's what healthy competition does. Guys, people that are CEOs of companies, guys that people that run programs at a high rate and high level, it's always healthy competition. Always healthy competition. Unknown on YouTube says, best guest you've had. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, Brandon was great. And guys, it's just like pure, man. I mean, it's when you grow up and you've known somebody since you were 5, I mean, man, it's just like us hanging out. Brandon Reese says, throw the kitchen sink at them and go and get it. Well, look, you got to be careful. You know, you can't send a whole hell of a lot of pressure. You know, like we've seen teams in the past that try to attack Mike Leach by doing that, and they've gotten royally beat down. My opinion is you just got to mix it up. You got to mix it up. So you got to mix it up. Doug Knows says, I heard somewhere pro scout going to be in the stadium eyeing the DB. Well, you heard it here, Doug. Memphis Spence said, and he broke some news. He broke some news here last night and said that one pretty prominent organization is going to be there. That's per him. That's not per me. But if Memphis Spence says it, take it to the bank. Now, I'm old enough to remember when Spence came on this show and said that Will Wade's about to get fired, and a week and a half later, he got fired. Y'all didn't believe him. Y'all ripped that poor man alive. Brandon says Wiggins, Baskerville, Richardson, and Banks will play Saturday. Yeah, they'll play Saturday. The thing is, I think Wiggins will dress out. I don't know how much he's going to play. He said just keeping the news fresh, brother. I appreciate that, dog. You know I love you, man. My mom says, no, y'all would get my debit card every Friday when you were seniors. We would do that. We would do that. But we're paying it forward now. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. Kenneth says, Blake, you are the best. Keep it going. Thanks. Jason sent some stars via Facebook. Thank you so much, Jason. Tim Graves, Demon Pride. Yes, sir. One Demon Circle, baby. One Demon Circle. Jerry Zimmerman says, this team will gel and be damn strong after they get some games under their belt. You know, Jerry, I think that's an interesting point that you make. And I agree with you. You know, I agree with you, man. And there again, it gets to a point where you when you bring in that many pieces, right? When you bring in that much, guys don't know, they're not going to gel together. Like when Brandon and them were there, you had Mo Claiborne, Tyrann Mathieu, all these guys. Excuse me, guys. Thorold Simon, Eric Reed, they'd all been there together for multiple seasons and multiple years, 2, 3, 4 years together. So when you're there, you know, like, hey, I know Mo Claiborne. When I told him when we talked about the Mo Claiborne interception against West Virginia, hey, I know that he's going to break the route, so I better stay back here. I better stay back here because I know what he's going to do. When you know somebody for that long, you know their tendencies. No, and not only do you know their tendencies, you know their strengths and their weaknesses. And guys, you got to know both. And that's the same with the offensive line. The same can be said from the DB room to the O-line room. I know if I'm a center, I know the right and left guard strength. Which, okay, Daddy's coming. Hold on. Come on. What? Fendi did what?
Hot dog.
Fendi's our dog. She ate your hot dog?
Yeah.
Did you tell her not to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you upset with her?
Mm-hmm.
What do you have here? What's this? It's a gavel. Look. Order in the court. Order in the court. All right. Now, Ben, you'll be my second guest for today. We'll end the show like this. Do you think LSU is going to beat Mississippi State this upcoming Saturday?
Day.
Do you think they're going to win?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be a close game? Yeah. Okay. Hey, is Jane Daniels going to go off? Yeah. You looked at me crazy. Who is just a Jaden? Okay. Black Goatee says, I have not watched that game again either. I haven't either. I'm not going to. All right. You want to close out the show? You want to close it out? All right, let's do it like this. You ready? Okay. You ready? Hold on. Let Daddy fix his hat. Because if we clip this,
What happened?
Daddy dropped his pencil.
Pencil?
Yeah. Are you ready? Hit the LSU fans with a little LSU. 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 All right. Go Tigers. Yay. Clap. Yay. All right, guys. We'll see y'all Saturday morning. Hey, massive show Saturday morning. All of you need to be there. All right, we'll see y'all soon. Y'all have a good night. Give them a salute, man. Peace out, Girl Scouts. What you been doing, boy?